Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel, and good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are on the planets. Welcome to my channel. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Today I am doing a twin flame reading for the Twin Flame Collective. So this is a general energy update for twin flames worldwide, which really just means that we are going to be channeling general energy updates for collective masculine and collective feminine energies, which then of course will reflect most profoundly in the dynamics between twin flames, because twin flames share that soul oneness and therefore that soul extreme polarity on the other side of that as well, because they are perfect counterparts. And what I kind of mean by that is when things between twin flames are in alignments, they can share this extremely magnetic connection that will pull them together across all time, space, and distance. However, whenever we as twin flames are holding on, or our twin flame is holding on to some kind of limiting idea or belief system about themselves or others or life that is creating some kind of a block within their energy, we also feel that to the extreme, which is why twin flames can really attract, magnetize one another, and repel with equal strength at times in the physical world. So I truly don't know what is going to come out from this reading. I feel like today there is a bit of a void energy. Now, as I always say through my readings, only take what resonates with you personally, because I will be channeling many different messages for different individuals. But if you would like me to channel specifically for you and your situation, be sure to like the video and also make sure that you are subscribed, because by liking and subscribing, it makes it easier for me to pick up on your energy and channel more specifically for you. Now, getting back to what I was saying, I felt this kind of void energy upon awakening today. Let me know if any of you have felt this at some point in the last 48 hours. And that's the word that I just kept channeling to describe it, like void. And I feel that this could apply differently for some, but I feel for certain twin flames, this kind of void energy could, I almost saw like a voided check, like metaphorically, there was something extremely valuable that you felt like you had in your hands with this person, with your twin, almost representing this check. And yet when you went to go cash it, it's like it was voided, like suddenly it was withdrawn or taken away. And I feel that some in the collective could be feeling this, but alternatively, there could be this literal void, as in this kind of hollowness, this emptiness, or feeling kind of in a state of limbo. I heard, are you coming or not? It's almost like I almost feel a divine feminine moving ahead with her life and then kind of looking back at the masculine and saying, are you coming along with me within this life, or am I leaving you behind? Because sometimes it's really hard for me to tell. Now, again, I am channeling from many different sets of twins, so only take what resonates. But as I was speaking about this void, the Magician and the Mirror came out in the reverse position. Now, this is really interesting because this is one of the strongest twin flame cards in the deck. And specifically, I take it to be speaking about the balance between twin flames. So when it's reversed, I see this card saying that something was imbalanced here. Anxiety in the reverse position. Letting go of fear, letting go of worry. Journey in the reverse position. Taking a trip, but in the reverse, it's almost like this choosing to stay, choosing to come home. I'm channeling a few messages to get us started, and then I'll begin to really tie everything together. Patience in the reverse position. Lots of reversed cards coming out here. What other cards can I pull before we channel all of these messages together? I hear someone saying, like, I want to go home, but I can't go home. And I feel that for some, this is a masculine who it's almost like, I want to go home to you, divine feminine. But I'm afraid that I'm too late. I'm afraid that there's no home to go back to. But also I feel this coming from an inner child space for some masculines as well. It's like this feeling of maybe nostalgia for their youth, or this sense of sadness for the passage of time. That's what I'm getting for some masculines, and almost this kind of reflecting states on their childhood here. With this, I want to go home. It's almost like this masculine maybe, and this won't apply for everyone, but some masculines may have never really had a stable, loving home. So there is this a missing sense of home that is pervasive through this masculine's life. And then I hear him saying, it's like I found home for the first time with you, divine feminine. But it's almost like I wasn't accustomed to that feeling of home, to that feeling of stability, that feeling of being so seen and loved and supported. So because of my own innate feelings of unworthiness, I pushed away the very home with you, metaphorically or literally, that I had longed my whole life for. However, overarching all of these cards is now the victory card coming out in the upright position. I feel this card signifying that all of these dynamics we are channeling here, although I feel in the moments they could appear to be very confusing and very bleak at times for some, they are all shifting us and being shifted in a positive direction. I see this victory card almost representing a kind of reunion. I heard reconnection, warmth, love, and I feel that that's speaking to what is being made available through this connection into the future because of the healing work that's taking place in the present. I didn't realize how much you meant to me. That's what I hear this masculine saying. The word spring also came out from the love word scramble. For those of you who are new, the words that I channel through the love word scramble are usually very specific and tend to apply only to specific individuals. So spring might be useful or might be applicable, that's the word, to some of you. But alternatively, this could be speaking to, I'm hearing the completion of a solar cycle. The completion of a cycle, a 365-day cycle for this masculine and feminine that I'm channeling here. Now, this will not apply for everyone. This is one of those more hyper-specific messages. But for those of you who have been connecting in the physical with your person for the last year or the last several years, I feel that if you reflect back, or if some of you, for whoever this is for, if you reflect back on this last 365 days, this last year, I feel like there's some kind of a completion of a cycle taking place. I feel that for many, last spring or summer was significant in your connection. I'm hearing for some in a potentially painful or perceivingly negative kind of way. But it's almost as though everything is coming full circle. However, I'm also picking up, it's almost like a divine feminine, not yet from her physical 3D perspective, being able to see the full completion of the cycle, the full completion of the circle. So you might not feel like this message really resonates with you right now, but you might find that as we move through the rest of the spring and the summer, you might find or kind of have this full circle moment where you realize that some cycle has been completed. So do be aware of that. Deceit in the reverse and carrying connections in the reverse position. Illusions are being lifted, but I am here alone, but I am alone. That's what I'm getting from these cards. Being alone with myself and the naked truth now in front of me, the mirror. I feel this masculine almost saying like, I can't live in that state of denial, in that state of illusion anymore. However, I still feel this kind of limbo period of loneliness because for many masculines, there is this feeling of being apart in the physical. There could be some separation between you even in the physical worlds. I just feel a lot of loneliness and longing coming from this masculine, but also this feeling of facing the truth about himself or about his life that he had been afraid to face for a really long time, that I feel the feminine mirrored to him in a really dramatic way. I'm seeing a mountain if that applies for someone. I also feel that the feminine actually mirrored this dynamic in a different kind of way. I feel that just as the divine masculine can no longer live in this illusion of a life he created from a state of ego, or live in this illusion of kind of a self-denial of the truth of this connection or the truth of himself, and yet he's feeling this loneliness, this kind of absence of the divine feminine more strongly through this falling away of the illusions, because he's coming back to the truth within himself, the truth of how he really feels about the divine feminine and how he's always felt. It's like there's that really deep level emotional reconnection taking place for the masculine. However, the feminine is mirroring this as well, because I feel that with the Deceit card reversed for the feminine, and I had to pause there because a card just came out of the deck. The 7th chakra in the upright position, the crown chakra. So yeah, I feel like for the divine feminine, the Deceit card reversed is more so about no longer ignoring her intuition about people, things, a life path, a person in her life. This even could have been no longer ignoring her intuition about something with the masculine in the past. This could have been a scenario where she listened to her intuition or stopped ignoring her intuition and finally chose to make some kind of a change in her life or in this connection. For some, this could have even been a literal walking away in the physical in the past from the masculine, or creating some kind of boundary or stepping away. It's like this dawning, I don't want to say realization, but this intense reconnection for the divine feminine with her intuition, her intuitive voice, and therefore this heightened alignment with her spiritual path, her true spiritual path, with the crown chakra in the upright position. And yet at the same time, there again is that caring connections reverse, that sense of loneliness and disconnection from others that I feel the feminine is feeling as well. And I hear her saying to the masculine, like, you're feeling this too. You're feeling this longing for this higher spiritual path and calling, this falling away of the illusion, and this sense of loneliness or disconnection at times in the physical world, because there is this awareness that we came here to be different, meaning to show a different path, to show a different way. And there's almost kind of this limbo period between the falling away of the previous illusion, the previous world that both the masculine and feminine created for themselves in this life, and the new world that they are bringing in. And during that limbo period, know that it's natural to feel this kind of void feeling, to feel, for some, what we would call a dark night of the soul, even kind of feeling. And whether you feel this just occasionally along your journey, or you really feel stuck at times in this void energy, know that you aren't alone in that, and also that nothing is going wrong. It's really just the rite of passage period of time. It's almost like a tunnel leading you from your previous life, your previous reality, and all of those old paradigms and illusions into this new life, this brand new world that you are creating, or really that you've already created, intended at the soul level. And often during the shift from the old to the new, there can be uncomfortable feelings of absence of what used to be that isn't yet replaced by presence of what is coming. So just know that that is normal if that's something you personally have found yourself dealing with from time to time. So I'm going to reshuffle the cards here because we've already gotten a few messages from both the masculine and feminine here. I want to go back to the divine masculine, and I want to know what the divine masculine wants to say here to the divine feminine. At the 3D level, what are they consciously thinking or feeling here? I hid behind material things. And for some, this may still be, I currently hide behind material things. I'm hearing that there's a masculine here who may, in a sense, spiritually hide his true self behind some kind of a status or a label. So this could be a job position, this could be, I feel some masculines I'm picking up on could be public figures here, because I'm seeing someone with a very public-facing kind of persona, but that won't be for everyone. But regardless, I feel this masculine saying it's like these material things, which I feel they're really represented by that deceit card in the reverse. They are the illusions that are falling away. They are a structured life for the masculine, created by his ego self, which really I feel the masculine saying is almost now like a past life. It's like, I can't hide behind those material things anymore. I feel like I'm being faced with, again, it's like being faced with the truth right in front of me in a way that I can no longer deny or ignore or repress. I wish I could take back my words. So there could be a masculine feeling specifically regretful about something he said to the divine feminine. I feel that this is either something he said or something he didn't say, but it was some form of denial of their connection. Again, this won't necessarily apply to everyone, and I do want to pull a few shoebox messages for this. So what is this thing that the masculine said or didn't say that he wants to take back? I do again feel it had to do with making the divine feminine feel like he was denying the connection. Let's talk. Closeness. Forgets. Old habits. Empty. Okay, so what I feel this masculine saying here is there's almost this message of wanting to have a conversation about something, wanting to clarify something. With this Let's Talk card, I feel a very strong present energy from this card. It's like, I feel this masculine, and again, this won't apply to everyone. I feel this is mostly going to apply to specific twin flames who are in a period of low communication or separation. I feel this masculine feeling the divine feminine very heavily in the energetic realm right now, feeling that closeness with the closeness card, wanting to reach out, wanting to have a conversation. I almost feel as though divine feminine on the other side of this, you may actually be aware on the subconscious level that your masculine wants to communicate. And what I mean by this is you might be picking up this energy of them wanting to communicate by actually feeling the urge to reach out to them during this period of separation. or if you aren't separated, to deepen your communication with them. And at times you might think that this urge is coming from your own self. Your conscious mind might interpret it that way. But I feel that this is actually coming from your masculine wanting to almost like, I just keep seeing the word like clarify, wanting to re-clarify something, wanting to, it's almost like double back on something that they said or that they didn't say, that they feel was an act of denial of this connection that they are now fully seeing in a clearer way. However, I don't feel that every masculine is going to come forward right away with this communication. And if you are in this period of separation, I do feel that there's something here about letting the masculine make the first move on this, because I feel, Divine Feminine, you are really being guided here to focus on yourself, to focus on your growth, your own self-love, and to allow the masculine to heal and energetically open himself to the point where he is divinely pushed to have these kinds of conversations if he's going to have them. But otherwise, Divine Feminine, I'm really feeling you continuously guided to really, with Goddess of the Moon in the upright position, this card really represents the Divine Feminine stepping into her power, her full power and potential. I really hear this message of like, yes, you're naturally going to feel a strong awareness of your divine counterpart. But at the same time, Divine Feminine, keep focusing on you. This path is about you reconnecting with yourself, you creating, attracting the life of your dreams, continuing to support and love yourself in the ways that you've always deserved. However, from this masculine within his mind, I see this kind of spiraling out in his headspace. And with the words forget and old habits, I almost feel with the word forget, he may have either caused the Divine Feminine at some point to feel as though he had forgotten her, or he may have said literally or hinted somehow to her that he wanted to just forget the connection or forget her. This could have been through his words or his actions. Really, I'm getting the word overlooked. I feel like the Divine Feminine here in the past may have just felt overlooked or somehow undervalued by this masculine, and he's feeling a lot of regrets about that. I also feel old habits were coming into play here. These could be karmic cycles or patterns, which may not necessarily be karmic relationships, although they can manifest that way. This could be any pattern or cycle or relationship that creates interference within twin flame connection. And I feel like there was just some kind of old habit loop, a kind of karmic habit loop for this masculine that was really difficult for him to break, that he kind of, I'm hearing it's like that thing or the person that he kept going back to. And for the Divine Feminine, it may have felt that way. But empty is the word describing his overall feeling presently, which is really interesting because this is very similar, the word empty, to the word void, which is what I was channeling initially. So if you are Divine Feminine and you've been feeling this kind of void feeling, know that in part, I'm now channeling that some of this energy could be coming from the kind of dark night of the soul experience, or the void, so to speak, that perhaps your divine masculine counterpart is feeling right now. Because the divine masculine is strongly feeling in real time the falling away, the crumbling of everything in his physical reality that he used to find comfort. And even again, going back to that idea of protection, he used to feel as though he could hide himself behind these things, behind the status or the relationship or the person, in order to feel somehow protected from his own vulnerability. It's like, I wouldn't have to be open, I wouldn't have to be vulnerable. But now this masculine is being divinely pushed into this space of total soul bareness, total soul vulnerability. It's like He's being stripped down to his very core to really heal himself on those deeper levels from the inside out, which is a major challenge for the masculine and something major they're going through, because the masculine tends to carry a more dense energetic field than the divine feminine. And so this actually can make it very, very intense to transmute these kind of heavy, dense energies into lighter, higher vibrational kinds of energies. So do keep that in mind as the divine feminine. This could be a gradual process, and very often is for the masculine, just because there is so much for them to heal and transmute, but also because they're coming from a denser kind of energetic space than the divine feminine, which means it takes longer for these energetic transmutations to occur. So now I'm feeling really guided to speak to the divine feminine with this goddess of the moon card. I feel as though her spirit guides may have a message for her. So what can I channel from the spirit guides of the divine feminine? Do keep in mind also, these could be any spiritual forces you personally connect with divine feminine. So they may not necessarily be messages from your spirit guides. If you don't identify that way with the spiritual realm, these could be higher self messages, messages from God, from the universe, whatever higher powers you connect with. And the cards from the Starseed Oracle to come out here are Cracked Open, Rock Bottom, Surrender to the Alchemy of Life. So some divine feminines, once again, going back to that kind of void imagery, some of you might be feeling that rock bottom, feeling that void, which, as this card is saying, is really just a call to deeper levels of surrender. I'm hearing surrender to the present. Allow yourself to be fully present in the moment. Take the steps that you can in the moment to support yourself, to love yourself, to move forward on your spiritual journey, and develop a strong bond of trust that everything is going to be working out for you, divine feminine. And the second card is the Courageous Peony, multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. I feel that there's a divine feminine here who it's like she has developed a strength in her voice. There's been a lot of throat chakra activations happening for the divine feminine, especially in the last year. And I feel that this divine feminine is still holding on to a few of her attachments to almost fear of what other people will think about what she's doing or saying, or the life that she's creating, or the person she's becoming. This won't necessarily apply to all divine feminines, but I feel that you're really being guided to not fear your own differentness, to not fear your own light and your own power, which I know sounds strange, but we all have this really deep primal urge to fit in. It's that tribal mentality to want to be similar to others, even if that means being lesser than our most powerful, awakened kind of self. And I feel that at times there is a divine feminine here who might water down her message, so to speak, dim her lights, or kind of alter herself slightly to fit in with people around her, to feel more connected with people around her at times. Again, this won't apply necessarily to everyone, but if this is you, I'm really being guided to tell you that you came here to be different. If you feel like you don't fit in with people around you, it's because you came here to bring down the light, to bring a new pattern, a new way of being that naturally would be unfamiliar and therefore uncomfortable to a lot of people, but bring that light anyway. Reveal and shine your light. Stand in your power anyway. Now, I know this is a bit of a vague message, but I also feel that if that message was for you, that you intuitively know how it connects with you. Also, the word studied came out here, and the word laugh. So I feel with the word studied, someone here could be in a period of some kind of higher learning, or even studying quite literally anything, whether it's kind of a form of self-study, researching new topics and ideas, or whether it's a more guided or structured form of study or academics. I heard training phase. It's like this divine feminine is being trained mentally, emotionally, is being prepared to bring even more of her light to the world. So pay attention if you're being guided in a certain direction to certain areas of study, or certain kinds of topics are piquing your interest and you're wanting to explore more into them, divine feminine. This could be a sign your soul is guiding you in that particular direction, because there is some kind of key for you there, opening potentially a future door in your life along your highest soul's path. I'm hearing this also could be a bit of a back door. It could be a bit unexpected. So again, really follow your feelings of curiosity or interest at this time, divine feminine. Also with the word laugh, I really just heard humor. It's like there's a divine feminine here who either is bringing more joy, more lightness, more humor into her life at times. But again, I feel that this could go up and down, right? There could be moments where you feel this kind of lightness surrounding you. You feel happier and more alive than you've ever felt. There's like this feeling of bliss, but then at other times you may be feeling the depths of the journey. You might be feeling what we call the void, as I channeled in the beginning. Again, that's turned into kind of a theme in this reading, but know that those highs and lows are not indications that anything is going wrong. It's really a sign that you are breaking open to these so-called highs of your life experience, while at the same time still cutting attachments, still letting go of those lows, meaning still rising free of those limiting ideas and belief systems that have weighed you down in the past, but you are rising out of them. Healing is not linear. Growth and expansion are not linear. It's not the way of nature for things to be perfectly better and better and better every day. You're going to have days that feel better and days that may feel worse, but solidify the knowing to yourself, divine feminine, that you are on the rise, that you are rising into your power, that you have every right to feel confident in yourself, even if you feel like you only know the next step. Keep moving forward. Wow, very powerful message coming through from your guides, divine feminine. Of course, I will be channeling more details in the extended reading on Patreon. So as always, the link to the Patreon is in the pinned comment and description box. In the Patreon reading, I'm going to channel more specifics on 3D thoughts, feelings, and conscious interactions between the masculine and the feminine in the physical world. So what they're thinking, what they're feeling, how they're feeling about each other. So all of that will be linked in the pinned comment and description box for those of you who feel guided to it. But for now, I'm going to switch over to the higher self messages. The words club and score came out. So with the word club, I almost feel like this message will probably just be for a few people, but I feel that someone I'm connecting with here may have recently joined some small group of people that share a similar interest or hobbies. This could be an online group or a literal physical group. I'm hearing connecting more with your soul tribe or with members of your soul tribe. If this doesn't apply to you, know that this could apply more generally in the sense that you are stepping into that more authentic frequency, and that means that the frequency you are radiating is closer to your core soul frequency, which, because we all communicate with one another on the energy level, on the frequency level, especially within our soul family and most dominantly within our twin flame connection, of course, because this is the most energetic, interconnected form of soul bond. But regardless, when you radiate more of that core soul frequency, it means that you will much more easily attract back to you these kinds of forms of soul bond and connection within your soul family. It may even happen with strangers that you run into or pass on the street or briefly interact with. It may be that even in these brief interactions, there's kind of a significance there, and you may have an awareness that there is some soul bond between yourself and this person. And it's a really beautiful thing. So just know that that's opening up for you, and be open to that if you are looking for more of a soulful kind of community in your physical life. With the word score, I feel that someone could have a child that plays a sport or something. I'm specifically seeing lacrosse, like being at a lacrosse game or some kind of a sporting game of some kind. Or someone could be into sports, so that might apply to someone here. But anyway, I do want to turn to the higher self of the divine masculine. You know, the temple path came out here, but the funny thing about how this card like kind of flew out of the deck here is I kind of caught it as I was shuffling and it flew out. And at first I thought it was in the reverse position, but then when I picked it up, it was upright. Now I'm sharing this because I feel this is really significant. I feel this is speaking to the fact that a divine masculine may at first glance appear like or look to the divine feminine like he is not on his highest soul's path, or he is not walking this journey along with her, so to speak. However, if you were to look deeper at the energetic core of this masculine, he is profoundly realigning himself with this highest path. He is walking that spiritual path. He's just doing it right now in more of a subtle way, meaning that the shifts are happening predominantly beneath the surface still. And we've been channeling this over the course of time here because this is the way masculine energy works. But I do see that divine feminine, don't lose faith. Yes, continue to focus on yourself, focus on your life, keep yourself open to receiving whatever you desire in life or love within your life. But at the same time, know that on the soul level, your divine masculine is mirroring your growth. They can't do otherwise because true twin flame connections are perfect mirrors of one another energetically. So I want to know how this masculine is realigning with his highest path. Man holding a heart in the upright position. Wow, I got a very strong message of opening his heart, opening himself to coming in with some kind of a concrete offer here in the future. And I know that I've been channeling a lot about this, but I feel that through the recent heart activations of this masculine, it's like he is really beginning to energetically open himself in a way that he's feeling, especially around the heart center, especially in regards to love and relationship. That emotional reconnection the masculine's been going through for a long time, which is really just a reconnection with his inner divine feminine, is now really reaching his true heart space, meaning that he's really realizing or seeing clearly in regards to past love and relationship experiences, including any of those that could have happened in the physical with the feminine. And it's like he's now having realization after realization of, divine feminine, you are the one that I have always held in my heart. And in turn, I want to hold my heart out to you. I feel this yearning, this longing from this masculine to really open his heart to the divine feminine as he's realigning with this soul's path. And divine feminine, you might be feeling this as well through chest sensations or heart sensations or other forms of heart chakra activation symptoms. Of course, I have to say, always see a doctor first for these kinds of symptoms, but I'm speaking to those of you who have symptoms with no known medical cause, and know that any of these could be connected with the energy shifts your masculine is experiencing right now. So I want to know what this masculine wants to say as he's opening his heart in this way. What does this masculine want to say? It's time for me to heal now. Wow, this really speaks to the fact that this masculine is undergoing this deep process of healing that we were speaking about, this energetic shifting taking place through their healing, allowing them to open their hearts more greatly, moving into the future. And as I said the word future, the word autumn came out as well, and also the word mission. So what I'm getting here is something about either this divine masculine's spiritual mission in the physical world in a way that could look individual if you are separated and you don't have the soul desire, the soul intention for a traditional physical union. Then this could be this masculine coming into more of his soul's purpose, more of his soul mission in this life. However, alternatively, and for most, I feel this speaks to this twin flame mission kind of taking on more of a concrete form in the fall, or this kind of movement forward happening. It's like, I feel that for many, and again, these are just energetic windows, so this might not apply literally for everyone, but I feel that Cancer season, Gemini season, even for some up to Aries season approaching, could be a time when you might begin to reconnect with your counterpart. Now, of course, this will vary depending on your level of connection with them, what wave of twin flames you're on, where you're at on your journey. For some of you who are physically together, this could look like a deepening of your connection. I'm hearing kind of almost like a honeymoon phase for you happening all over again. For some of you who are in separation, this could be hearing from your person. This could be receiving some kind of communication. For others of you who haven't even met your twin flame, this could look like reconnecting through the energetic realm. So again, this could be everything from an energetic fifth dimension kind of introduction or reconnection with your twin, all the way up to a full-blown kind of physical 3D reconnection. However, I see that leading into autumn, and in autumn, I see that kind of reconnection phase breaking forward more into, it's almost like taking a concrete form, taking on a rhythm or routine of some sort, which I know sounds a bit vague. I'm keeping it intentionally vague because I know it will apply differently for some. But for example, you could start reconnecting in some way in the summer through conversation, and then that conversation could become more rhythmic, more of a constant in your life moving into the fall. For others, this could be that you are seeing your twin flame in dreams, communicating in the 5D in this spring and summer season. And then in autumn, you end up finding more of a concrete form to your journey, whether that's meeting them in the physical world or developing more of a sense of your spiritual purpose here for yourself along your twin flame path. Whatever the case is, it's like there's this major shift from some form of reconnection happening, leading into more of a concrete, solid, kind of routined sort of form in the fall. So I really hope that that specifically reached someone or resonated with someone. I don't feel that those messages will necessarily be for everyone, so only take what connects with you. My life is not as together as it seems. So I feel this speaks specifically to a masculine who could be presenting, I hear him saying like, I'm okay, everything's okay, I'm fine. He could even respond this way if you've ever reached out to him and asked him how he is. He could have used words like, I'm fine, it was fine, I'm okay. But really it's like beneath the surface, I feel like a lot of the time this masculine is anything but okay. He feels like he's barely kind of holding up this facade of his life or this kind of illusion of himself that's kind of crumbling around him, and at the same time strongly feeling the absence or perceiving some kind of disconnect between himself and the feminine that could be causing him a lot of pain. And of course, the two cards to come out from the Twin Flames and Separation deck are, I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. So yeah, that really speaks to this ego death happening. By the way, I just saw the number 444. the ego death continuing to happen for the masculine, this loss of a previous sense of self that is really clearing the way for creating a new sense of self, a new kind of self. And the card, I want to hold you again. I need to feel your body next to mine. I've been speaking about this in recent readings, but there's this longing from the masculine for something tangible with the divine feminine. Even if it doesn't look that way on the surface, it's like, I want to hold you. I want to be close to you physically. I want to be near you. You are intoxicating to me. That's what I'm feeling from this masculine. Now, in the extended version of this reading, I will be channeling more higher self messages from this masculine, as well as higher self messages from the divine feminine side of things as well. So the link to the extended is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. But otherwise, I am going to be closing this reading by just pulling one final card from the Rumi Oracle deck. So it is one final message for twin flames here. Sacred Convergence. Wow. And when I saw that card, I really saw also the term sacred union. And this is also the number 11 card, which is a very, very strong twin flame number of alignments. So I'm going to read a little bit from this guidebook for the card. Roaming about town, the master was holding a light, saying, I am weary of the demons and the beasts. A human is what I am longing for. The human cannot be found. We have searched. What cannot be found is what I am longing for. Although poor and needy, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. The mine of the finest rubies is what I am longing for. One hand holding a cup of wine, and the other the curls of the beloved. A dance like this, in the middle of the circle, is what I am longing for. Rumi. And from the guidebook here, and I'm strongly feeling this from a masculine, how I have longed for you, my very own. Look no further. For the family beyond your family, the relationship beyond all other relationships, the great love that unveils all other loves, to be mere reflections of the one great and true love, is here for you now. It is I who has sought you through the stirrings of your own hearts. Yes, 'twas I, hidden beneath every secret yearning for something more, something full, something special, something all-encompassing. Behind every yearning, always, I have hidden. Now I show myself to you, that you may become so filled with the same passionate devotion that I hold for you, that your mind will fall away, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of love, tossed into an ocean of silent, unending bliss. Come to me. We are to be one now, in sacred convergence of silent, eternal passion. Sacred convergence indicates a coming together of souls in alignment with a greater cause. Really, really beautiful, beautiful messages from the guidebook, especially in the context of a twin flame reading. So I really hope that this reading was helpful for you, that it brought you some form of clarity or guidance along your path. And if it did, be sure to leave me a comment and let me know which message is connected to you personally. Otherwise, the link to the extended portion of this reading, where we will be channeling more in-depth 3D and 5D messages from both the masculine and the feminine here, will be in the pinned comment and description box under this video if you are heading on to the extended with us now. Otherwise, have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in Friday's Twin Flame reading.